Alright, so maybe your favorite deck got nerfed, and you're thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do? What do I play? Well, look, when everything else becomes weaker, decks that don't have any cards in them that got affected by the balance patch, they get better. This is one of those decks. People have been sleeping on Support Mage lately. I mean, actually, since Morrowind dropped, I think Support Mage is still really good. And I have a 100% win rate with this thing across 8 or 9 games now. Not a huge sample size, but beat all sorts of stuff. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Every game is different, and you have tools with which you can beat anybody. I mean, you can beat Scout, Telvanni, Tribunal, the big control stuff. You can beat Halalu, Crusader, all these things. The engine, of course, is Cauldron Keeper and Tower Alchemist in conjunction with Elixir of Vitality, Heroic Rebirth, and College of Winterhold, Orb of Vermina, Goldbrand, and Wabbajack to just generate insane amounts of value. You have a pretty reasonable control mage package then to deal with more aggressive strategies in Cloud Rest Illusionist, Execute Firebolts, Daggerfall Mage, Wardcrafter, Shrieking Harpy, Ice Storm, all that crap. The only real finisher in your deck is Sotha Sil. You could probably run the deck without Sotha Sil and be just fine. Because your opponent's either going to concede or you're going to find something to win with off of your Wabbajacks and Orbs, Colleges, and Heroic Rebirth. And finally, one of the things I think that actually puts this version over the top, my latest tech inclusion, is Voice of Balance. You're not running a whole lot of stuff to trigger it, right? You have 8 support cards, no natural items, but you do have 3 items off your Crown Quartermasters, 3 items off your Daggerfall Mage, and I think Crown Quartermaster actually does a pretty good job of contesting the early game, and it's not like you have a whole lot of other better options at that 1-cost, 2-cost slot for doing that in these colors. You have some Reverberating Strikes for removal as well. Cast in a Time, Over-Piercing Javelin, because against other control decks, you kind of need to eliminate some stuff. And in particular, solid mid-range decks with just endless giant threats are going to be your worst matchups. And casting in a Time, a Sower of Revenge or something along those lines is oftentimes very essential for winning. But look, the deck is solid. It's a lot of fun to play, and we're going to hop on the ladder and play a couple games with it, and hopefully you agree. Howdy folks, Justin here, and today we're going to hop onto the ladder with Support Mage because this is a deck that doesn't get hit by any of these balance changes. It's also a deck that's an old favorite of mine, and I love playing it. Our opponent is Umbla, which I can totally appreciate. Let's see what Umbla is rocking today. Playing House Halalu. Okay, this is a deck that gets hit with the nerf a little bit. Haunted Manor gets a price increase, and if you're running Mudcrab Merchant, it gets hit as well. I got early stuff to contest, and I think Ice Storm's a pretty important part of our plan, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that as well. And I will throw out an Elixir of Vitality just to get it out there, but I don't like to use that till after I've had one of my runes broken, so that I can, get some value that way. Right into the Shadow Lane. I don't know why everybody does this. Voice of Balance. I forgot that this card was in this version of the deck. That's cool. Hopefully we get to make a trade next turn and establish Daggerfall Mage in the field lane to contest some other stuff. Instead, we're going to get Orc Clan Captain. Looks like we're just going to hang out in the Shadow Lane. Marked Man. Sure. Absolutely makeshift defenses. Cauldron Keeper, always a pleasure to see Cauldron Keeper. And our wards should provide us the ability to make some favorable trades here. What am I not looking for? I don't want my opponent to have an Ash Berserker this turn. Let's see what they're rocking. Might have an Oathman. That would be pretty good for them. Okay, takes the trade. Plays another Orc Clan Captain to push some damage. Alright. Take 3, we get another Elixir of Vitality. Plays a Stormcloak Vanguard to push even more damage. Okay. Firebolt, pretty interesting draw here. I was going to play Voice of Balance, but I'm fine with just doing all this. We'll go ahead and give both of these a crack. Start raising my life total back up. This means once we get the Tome of Alteration out, our Voices of Balances come, or voices? I don't know how to pluralize that. Come down as 8/8s. Okay. Plays a Stormcloak Battalion. Alright. There's an Ice Storm, so I'm just going to go ahead and equip. And swing. Hopefully I can clear everything up with Ice Storm next turn. I'm going to go ahead and gain that life. And we're coming up on a couple of 8/8s because we have actions and equipments going on. This is a little interesting. Hive Defender. So I'm actually just going to play a Voice of Balance. And pass the turn. If it gets silenced, it gets silenced. We'll still have enough on board to trade. Rift Thane dies to Ice Storm. Lower Canton Smith. Okay, so I think we just Ice Storm now. Especially since we have a backup Ice Storm. Lay down some guards. Maybe get the orb going. There's a raiding party I'm not super worried about. Okay. Reverberating Strike will take care of that pretty nicely. No play from our opponent. Alright, so we're just going to Reverberating Strike, play a Hive Defender, pass the turn.
The forest will not suffer.
Earthbone Spinner. Hlalu Oathman. Okay, wanted to draw a card at least. Could smash that second Ice Storm. Or I could play Cauldron Keeper and Voice of Balance. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and trigger each of these once, pass the turn. So my Cauldron Keeper, likely to die. Dawnbreaker, sure. Crusader's Assault. Okay, so Crusader's Assault for 1. This is not bad. We can establish then College next turn and Hive Defender. Tower Alchemist, pretty cool too. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and play the Tower Alchemist. I like an arrow to the knee. I like gaining some life. And we're starting to get close to what I like to call the soft lock with this deck, where if they don't have an answer, we just kind of go nuts. Sure, sure. Passes. Tower Alchemist. Let's see if we can get an answer to that. Yeah, weakness works. Weakness definitely works. And, we could play the Orb with a Hive Defender to protect it. I think we're going to play the Orb because we have another Tower Alchemist. Divine Fervor is kind of interesting. We're back up to 28. This is what you're trying to do with this deck. Now, it's not to say that we've definitely won, but we're about to pass the point where their Triumphant Jarls will matter. They run Telesis Conscription, which isn't even a huge deal because we have Ice Storm. Okay, that'll survive. Shadowmare comes down as a 3/2. That'll survive. But for the most part, this is okay. Okay. Yep, goes face. Let's activate all our stuff. I guess we'll take a Soul Tear. We'll gain some life. We'll take something from their deck. Let's go ahead and play the Ice Storm. And I'm kind of into playing Divine Fervor, but I think I'd rather just get that off the board, protect my guy over here, pass the turn. So a second Tullius' Conscription actually is going to be a problem. I was not counting on my opponent running that card, but it's pretty good against us. Okay, now they're going to take this out too, I assume. Elderly Matron, Nord Firebrand. College on 4. Yep. Trades. Makeshift defenses they've been holding. Move into shadows. For a gigantic Balmora Puppeteer. Okay. Well, game's definitely not over. We have Iron. And Solitaire back a Voice of Balance. Kind of into playing Iron. Let's see what we get off here first. Drain Blood might be useful. So we'll take that. See what they have. Haunted Manor. Okay. I'm going to play Iron. Reverberating Strike. Kind of wanted to get Ice Storm back. I can try to kill it off. And then bring it back and replay it in the future. Don't want to play that yet. I could Solitaire back Voice of Balance to put 2 damage on that. Okay, I think we're doing alright. Assuming this isn't Tullius' Conscription, we really need to find a way to get another mass removal spell. So coming up on 5, we need to hit 6 for most of the reasonable mass removal options. There's Barbus, which is really good by that Elderly Matron. I assume it's fetching. Yep, drawing a random Daedra. Lord Canton Smith. Okay. Just going to push 13 here. Going down to 11. Draw a Firebolt. Cauldron Keeper is good too.
I sell cures for all ills.
Javelin is exactly what we're looking for. Another Ice Storm or an Immolating Blast? I think we want the Ice Storm. Gonna gain a bunch of life. Draw more cards from their deck. Okay. So we're gonna take another 10, go down to 9. But we're at the point now where we're gaining a ton of life. We kind of have an answer to another Tullius' Conscription. Cast into Time.
Time to fight.
Nord Firebrand. Okay, we can clear. There's our Ice Storm. Let's go ahead and gain our life. And our opponent concedes, which is how you win with this deck. There we go, man. I love playing this. Alright, we are back for one more with Voice of Balance. Control Support Mage. I am super excited to be rocking this deck. I mean, just one of my all-time favorite lists. Well, favorite archetypes. This is actually a pretty new list. One that I've found to be pretty good. I mean, I actually think I have like a 100% win rate maybe with this. I play a ton of jank, but this deck seems to check out. Playing against Tribunal should be interesting. Yeah. They have the ring. We have stuff. Actually going to play a Crown Quartermaster. It might make them think we're doing something other than what we're doing. Might make them think we're on mid-mage. Which we are definitely not. Yeah.
Careful there, friend.
Luck to your house.
Poke them down a little bit. You know, we don't even have lightning bolts in our deck. Like, reach is not really an option.
By the eighth, they will
Daggerfall Mage. Okay.
Your blood.
Yeah, we'll just swing into that. And pass the turn. Just trying to take our time here. Alright. And we are drawing all of our anti-aggro kind of stuff. Opponent similarly sitting on stuff they don't really want. Pass the turn. Cast into time is great. Casting into time certain things from their deck can definitely help us win.
May the ancestors bless
There's
us.
Iron to get back the negation. Okay. Ward Crafter. I don't know that I really need to get this off the board. This probably just gets Sorcerer's Negationed. Okay, executed. I will definitely play an Orb of Vermina. Want to get the dagger into the discard pile for Voice of Balance. I suspect this gets hit immediately by support removal. Opponent swings. We hit another Ward Crafter. Shrine Guardian. Wow, okay. 65 cards in our opponent's deck. We got an arrest, which is interesting. Let's see how many of these we hit. None. Well, that is unfortunate. Knowing that they have arrest is kind of interesting. Sotha Sil, I think the best arrest target in their deck, probably. I assume it's in their deck. I don't really mind just turning my Tower Alchemists into more cards from their deck. And that's a good one to hit. Marak down. Sweet. Now, I don't think there's any way my Tower Alchemist survives. Okay, it gets cast into time. I have one in my hand. A little Shriveled Mummy action. There's a Reverberating Strike. I don't feel like I need to do anything here.
Perhaps we can help one another.
Telvos Magister. That's a pretty tempting arrest target. Go ahead and take that.
By the eighth,
Get the Daggerfall Mage out of my hand. Unfortunately to the Shadow Lane where it's not going to do a whole lot of good. Sorcerer's Negation, we knew they had that. Aldalathi Assassin's fine. Tome of Alteration. There's our first Voice of Balance. Do I pull the trigger on this? I only have one Tower Alchemist left. They don't seem to be heavy on support removal, but it has to be in their deck.
By all the powers of the eight.
And Kano.
I
Okay.
have many important things on my mind.
Well, we broke a rune, looks like. No, we did not. Okay. Put a little more pressure on our opponent. Orb of Vermina, so huge in the yellow-based control mirrors. Lightning bolts that. Plays a Daggerfall Mage. I think we... I mean, do we just smash? There's College of Winterhold. We can start doing that thing. And I would love to blackmail my opponent. Take more of their stuff. It's a Harpy.
We'll see about this.
Let's just go ahead and swing. And I like this. Just put a ton of pressure on. Voice of Balance just sometimes amazing. If I win this game, like having won like 8 in a row, I have to say I think this deck's probably pretty good. Arrest's my Voice of Balance. Javelin's my Encana. Okay. We can still push 5. And take another card. Barter. Or Barrelzar's Tinkering. I really like Barrelzar's Tinkering this thing up to a 7 or potentially 8 drop. So. Let's see what we get. 7/7. I think we can do better than that. Let's get an 8 drop. Perfect. And Cauldron Keeper. All day. Let's take more of their stuff. Oh, it's another Tel'Vos Magister. Unite the houses. Actually, I want Blood Sacrament. Because I might be able to just kill my opponent. Tel'Vos Magister.
We can help one another.
There's no more fun deck to play than this one. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Alright, we're getting hit with an Ice Storm. That's fine. Yeah. Lightning Bolt. Okay. Go up to 10 cards. Crown Quartermaster.
Azura, give me strength.
Azura does not seem to be on your side, man. So I'm just going to space out a bunch of
A
guys.
little distraction might prove useful.
Wardcrafter on here.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Pass the turn. So at the sill, we thought that might happen. This sets up lethal for us, right? Yeah, because we cast this into time.
Shale take you. Behold my power. Your blood will
And then we Blood Sacrament. Look, you want to play Mage, you want to play Control, old school. This deck is solid. F.